而最近發生嘅科羅拉多槍擊案，從種種跡象睇嚟，並唔係一宗單純嘅槍擊事件。據發生嘅時間、地點、情節到所製造出嚟嘅後果，種種疑點加起嚟，更加似係一宗精心嘅佈局，以犧牲一小班人，大致成就所謂大義。呢宗喺上一個月7月20日丹佛市發生嘅槍擊案，由於事發喺蝙蝠俠嘅首映當日，並且情節嚴重，最終造成12死58人傷，瞬間成為咗全球嘅焦點。現時此案嘅疑兇係一個突然從博士班退學嘅24歲獨行青年，佢持有各種武器，穿着全套裝備，蒙住面走入電影院，投擲煙霧彈，大開殺戒之後，走入電影院後門停泊嘅車輛，等待警方嚟到。喺不發一槍嘅情況下，束手就擒，喺車上搜出各種武器裝備。其後更加供出自己嘅住處，設計咗炸彈。警方同埋 FBI 最後花咗2日先至可以拆除。呢啲情節睇嚟實在太唔合理啦。
We're going to look at this debate from 2 angles. Tonight, part 1, the questions the national media aren't asking. I don't need to go into a lot of details on this shooting because most every American is familiar with the basics. Police say 24-year-old James Holmes went into that theater in Aurora, Colorado. He was dressed in black, wearing a tactical helmet, vest, and leggings, as well as throat and groin protectors. Police say Holmes used an AR-15 assault rifle, a Remington shotgun, and a .40 caliber Glock handgun during that attack. And police say they found a second .40 caliber Glock inside of his car. The question being asked, how could he be allowed to buy those guns legally in Colorado? The question not being asked, how does an unemployed graduate student afford to buy them? Look, a decent AR-15 rifle costs $1,000 or more all by itself. The shotgun and the 2 handguns would easily run another $1,000 total. Spare mags, sights, slings, and so on, you're going to run another $1,000 across those 3 firearms. The bulletproof vest, that's easily another $800. And then you have all the money spent on bomb-making materials. Which brings us to our next question. As you know, police say that Holmes rigged his apartment with an incredibly complicated maze of fire bombs. But on the day he was arrested, he immediately told police about the bombs. Why? So our second question, where did this graduate student in neuroscience learn how to make a series of bombs so complicated that the FBI took 2 days to figure out how to disarm them? One official said the intricacy of these bombs is something rarely seen outside of war zones. He had a tripwire set behind the door to kill anyone who opened it. And yet, after setting this intricate death trap, decides to warn police about it before someone's killed? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Neither does what police are saying about this being a lone wolf attack.
All the evidence we have, every single indicator is that this is all Mr. Holmes's activity and that he wasn't particularly aided by anyone else.
But is that true? Eyewitness reports from the scene indicate that Holmes got a phone call from someone inside the theater, and also that tear gas was thrown from more than one location.
He got a phone call, and most people, when they get phone calls in theaters, they go straight out into the lobby to answer it. This person went directly to the emergency exit. He had his foot propped open by the door, and from the crack, it looked like he was signaling somebody or looking for somebody to come his way.
As I was sitting down to get my seat, I noticed that a person came up to the front row, to the front right, sat down, and as credits were going, I noticed it seemed like he got a phone call. So he went out towards the emergency exit doorway, which I thought was unusual to take a phone call.
From what we saw, he wasn't alone. He had someone with him because the second can of tear gas didn't come from his side.
So what you need to know is that there are so many questions about what really happened in Colorado. Questions we don't have answers to and we may never have answers to. What is unfortunate is that instead of really digging into why this apartment would be rigged to kill, but then Holmes would then warn police and then lawyer up and not say anything else, where he got the funding and the firearms training, and these eyewitness reports that there was more than one person, instead of asking those questions, national media want to focus all their attention on why guns were legal in the first place. National media seems too busy playing the political game, not busy enough looking into what really happened. And that is Reality Check.
確實喺槍擊案發生後，一眾傳媒嘅矛頭唔係追查兇案嘅種種疑點，彷彿佢哋已經對事件發生嘅經過有着同一嘅口徑。當製造問題、演繹問題之後， 傳媒嘅矛頭反而係指向點解兇手合法擁有多種武器、槍械對大眾嘅危險性。紐約市長彭博更加第一時間出嚟提出禁槍嘅呼聲。
Both the president and Governor Romney have expressed sympathy to the people in Colorado this morning. What else would you like to hear from them?
Somebody's got to do something about this, and this requires, and particularly in a presidential year, the candidates for President of the United States to stand up and once and for all say, yes, they feel terrible. Yes, it's a tragedy. Yes, we have great sympathy for the families, but it's time for this country to do something. And that's the job of the President of the United States. And I don't know what they're going to do. But I think it's incumbent on them to tell us specifically, not just in broad terms. Governor Romney, when he was governor of Massachusetts, actually passed a ban on assault weapons. And President Obama, when he came into office in 2008, said he would reinstitute the federal ban on assault weapons. And the governor has apparently changed his views, and the president has spent the last 3 years trying to avoid the issue, or if he's facing it, I don't know anybody that's seen him face it. And it's time for both of them to be held accountable. We spend all our time talking about tax returns and gaffes and things like that. This is one of those issues, along with a handful of others, that really matter to the American public. It matters to the future of our country. It matters to you and me and to our children and grandchildren. And it's time, I think, that we hold them accountable and say, okay, you want our votes. What are you going to do?
除此之外，疑兇 James Holmes 嘅背景並唔簡單。佢父親 Robert Holmes 係銀行界嘅頂級電腦專家。佢原本要喺參議院作證，揭露 Freemason 銀行家有關倫敦銀行同業拆息 Libor 嘅詐騙罪行，有機會挑戰呢啲銀行家，揭止佢哋嘅詐騙罪行，甚至將一眾華爾街 Freemason 嘅銀行家繩之於法。但係就好似其他揭密者嘅下場，就喺佢將要出席聽證會作證嘅時候，佢嘅仔就發生丹佛槍擊案。佢嘅仔嘅下場不單止可以打擊 Robert Holmes， 甚至令佢唔能夠作證。同時亦都有殺雞儆猴嘅作用。
Robert Holmes, whose blue blood family links go back to the Mayflower, is known throughout the global banking community as being the creator of one of the most sophisticated computer algorithms ever developed, and is credited with developing predictive models for financial services, credit and fraud risk models, first and third-party application fraud models, and Internet online banking fraud models. Educated at the University of California, Berkeley, Stanford University, Robert Holmes is currently the senior lead scientist with the American credit score company FICO, which was formerly known as Fair Isaac & Company, and which every American citizen is beholden to should they need to borrow money. It's your credit score. Okay? So there you go. That's his father. Now, he's deeply connected in the science community, and they're trying to tell us he's just an average guy. Well, apparently not. Okay, he's not just an average guy. Average guy doesn't have this for parents.
Robert Holmes is a very important and connected person in the scientific community, as well as the world's financial community. He is the creator of an algorithm software that can essentially determine the sources of money, where it went, where it came from, and other details which can link to sources. This is a threat to the world elite banking structures and plays an important role in the Libor scandal, which threatens Wall Street and affects the common person. He was set to testify, and this could threaten banksters all over the world. Ironically, in the latest Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises, the plot unfolds, depicting the rich class of Gotham City facing a threat that is Bane, the criminal leader who rises up and leads a group to literally attack Wall Street. The city of Gotham learns that the rich and elite have betrayed them, and Bane uses algorithm software to track the funds to Bruce Wayne. This story is strangely similar to the threat that Robert Holmes poses to Wall Street as well.
究竟嗰個蒙住面喺戲院大開殺戒嘅冷血槍手，係唔係就係後嚟一個坐喺汽車上乖乖等待警方束手就擒嘅 James Holmes 呢？ James Holmes 係唔係只係另一隻被人用藥嘅代罪羔羊呢？
The duty judge has made a preliminary determination of probable cause to believe you committed the offense of first-degree murder, which is a Class 1 felony under Colorado law. Ordinarily, individuals are entitled to bail. Given the nature of the charges, you are currently being held on a no-bond hold. You also have a right to have a jury trial and preliminary hearing to determine whether there's probable cause to believe that you're the person that committed the offense.